Yo, how's it going guys? Today we're gonna be looking at 5 of the best team combinations or synergies for Battle Royale. And what I looked at when choosing these teams was mainly the passive bonuses that each of these heroes give to allies during battle. These passive bonuses include boosts to movement speed, armor penetration, aimed firing range, and many more boosts. The right combination of heroes can always make each other better and become more resilient as a unit during battle, doing more damage and surviving longer. So getting right into the video, the first team combination that we see here is Raven, Ghost and Angel. Now in this particular team, we have Raven who can scan the area for enemies or other threats like turrets. And in addition, Raven also gives his allies an increase in weapon firing range and aimed firing range of 55. So basically this allows the enemies to shoot at longer distances. And next we have Ghost who gives allies an additional armor penetration of 18. He also reduces the ammo pickup time and item pickup time by 60%. And then we have Angel. She obviously has a shield to protect herself while doing damage, and she has a number of passive bonuses which include an additional 55% damage to armor for allies, a 40% reduction in reloading time, and then an additional 5% damage to enemy health. But instead of Angel, you can also use Freddy in this team combination. Angel or Freddy are both destroyers, and in this team Freddy reduces the item pickup time for allies, that includes ammo pickup time, by 90% on taking damage. So that's the first team. And then the next team here that we can have is Bastion and Dragoon. So this is an all-tank team. This team is especially effective during the machine gun contracts, where you have to use the machine gun heroes to do as much damage as possible. You have the two Bastions who do so much damage, and you have the Dragoon that increases their movement speed by 35 and also reduces their running loudness by 50%. And then for the third team, you can take Raven, Satoshi and Slayer. In this team, Raven, as we discussed earlier, gives his allies an increased weapon firing range and aimed firing range of 55, and he also scans for threats in the area. He scans and reveals all enemies within a range of 1,000. And then you have Satoshi, who obviously has the shield, which can protect the entire team as long as you stand next to some walls. And in addition, he's always giving his allies 35 armor per second as long as they are close to him. The third member of this team would be Slayer. Now Slayer acts as a destroyer in this team, whereas Satoshi acts as more of a protector to the team, because he can use his shield to protect the entire team and can also use his team heal to reduce incoming damage for the entire team in case of an attack or flank by an enemy team. Keep in mind that the team heal for Satoshi works best when you equip for personal gears. And then the passive bonuses that Slayer gives are, on hitting an enemy, allies get a 50% increase in their damage, and their aimed fire spread is also reduced by 45%. So their cones become quite small when their guns are aimed, and they also do 50% more damage. Now in this team, instead of Slayer, you can go with Bertha, because Bertha can also destroy enemies at great distances the same way Slayer does. In terms of Bertha's passive bonuses, on killing an enemy, there is a 50% increase in incoming damage for enemies. So enemies will die 50% faster, since they'll be taking in 50% more damage. And then in addition to that, the enemy's fire spread is increased by 75%. So this makes their guns very inaccurate. So that's it for the third team. In the next team, we have Cyclops, Mirage, and Firefly. Now, the reason why you can take Cyclops instead of Raven in this team is because on top of the scan ability, Cyclops can also restore both health and armor to his allies very fast with a team heal ability. But most importantly, once Cyclops hits an enemy, the enemy's firing range is reduced by 50%. So this means they won't be able to shoot at the other snipers on the team. Also, on Cyclops hitting the enemy's vision range is reduced by 45%. So remember, the Mirage and the Firefly both have a lot of vision. They can see a big part of the map. But if Cyclops hits the enemy is going to have a reduced vision range of 45%, which means they won't even be able to see the snipers. The snipers can take out the enemy really quickly. These effects on Cyclops last for 3 seconds. And then if Cyclops manages to get the kill, all enemies nearby are blinded, that means they can't see, and they are also disarmed, which means they can't shoot. This lasts for 1.3 seconds. In the case of Mirage, on hitting an enemy, the movement speed of allies is increased by 55, so the allies become faster, and their fire rate is also increased by 20%. This lasts for a few seconds. And in a case of Firefly, on killing an enemy, damage to health for allies is increased by 45%, and their fire rate is increased by 50%. Both of these effects last for 3.5 seconds. Now for this team, instead of Firefly, you can go with Blot. First of all, he has a shield, and then on top of that, on killing an enemy, incoming damage for allies is reduced by 50%. And then for the final team in this video, we have a team combination of Sparkle, Dragoon, and Leviathan. And in this team, instead of Leviathan, you can take Smog. Sparkle's contribution on this team is she can heal the team really fast in terms of health and armor. And then on taking damage, she increases the fire rate of allies by 40%. And in terms of the passive abilities, Sparkle gives 28 health per second to allies always. This effect is always active as long as the allies are close to her. And then in this team, Dragoon gives the entire team a 35% speed boost, and their running loudness is reduced by 50%. We have Leviathan, who places his turrets down, and these turrets can sometimes appear as extra teammates. In the place of Leviathan, you can go with Smog, who has the rockets. These rockets can be used to disable shields and force fields, so they are quite important. And that's it for the final team. There you have it for this episode of the team combinations. There will be more episodes in this series as you guys suggest more good team combinations that you use. And yeah, I think that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching as always. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Go, 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 go.